We have talked about confident grab on the channel before. This is a recently wild caught Great Basin gopher snake from here in northern Utah. You may be able to see her starting to pose here. She's been very feisty from the moment she was caught. She's probably 2 years old, maybe a little younger, but I suspect she's about 2 based on some other snakes that we've collected as Nias, and she's about the same size. When I first saw her, I thought it was possible she was hit by a car. And I since think that she's fine. But she was very musky and very bitey from the moment I first picked her up. Sometimes when animals are hurt in the wild, you'll get particularly defensive behavior from them. But she has eaten and pooped. She seems fine. I no longer believe that she had been hit by a car, which is great. She'll be part of our breeding program. You'll see here as I pick her up, she's one of the patternless gopher snakes from Gopher Gulch that we here in northern Utah that we are hoping to continue to find at that location and develop a breeding program for these patternless individuals. But I'm going to show you an example of confident grab with a particularly defensive snake here, and then I'm going to work with her over the next couple weeks. I'll film some additional sessions so you can see how she improves as I handle her more. But the things I want you to notice here, there's really a couple main ones. She's already posturing. She will start hissing here. As my hand comes toward her, she will strike. I'm not going to get her any more riled up for you because I want to show you confident grab from the beginning rather than starting, stopping, getting her striking, all of that good stuff. That's what we're trying to avoid. But I want to show you that even when a snake is in this defensive posture, even if they strike, bite, even if she starts hissing, which she's very likely to do, you go ahead and you pick them up and you do it in one motion. I don't start, I don't stop, I don't let myself get startled when she strikes. If you start and stop, you actually kind of get them riled up even more. You're kind of simulating what may happen with a predator in the wild when they're striking. Now, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to pick her up here behind her head, along her body. The other thing I could do is normally I'd want to come in kind of low. I'm above her right now, which is going to kind of accentuate her defensiveness. But you'll see what I mean. I'll come in, it'll be to the left of her head here, watching it on camera, grab her by her body, and then I'm going to immediately support the rest of her body, get a little closer to her head. It's okay if she strikes, it's okay if she bites. She may musk, which is actually rare for gopher snakes, but she musked me pretty good when I first caught her in the wild. But the second thing I want you to notice is not long after I pick her up, in fact, it may be pretty immediate, she will calm down. They calm down pretty quickly once they realize you're not a threat. And then the third thing we always emphasize with confident grab and handling defensive snakes is before I put her away in her permanent enclosure that I'm going to do here, I want to put her away on a high note. So I'm going to hold her long enough, a minute or two at least, if she behaves right away, so that I'm not rewarding bad behavior when I put her back in her enclosure. I don't want to put her back in her enclosure right after a musk, right after a bite. I want to let her calm down. I want, typically I want to see some calm behavior, just some tongue flicks, where she's curious, but she's not biting, she's not hissing, she's not striking, not musking. And if I can give that even just a minute, that's when I'll put her back in her enclosure. So A lot like a dog, it's kind of the same theory. You want to reward good behavior and not reward bad. So I'm going to go in right now for the grab. You'll see what happens. I may get bitten. That's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and pick her up, and I'm not going to do a stop and start. It's going to be kind of a single motion here. Doesn't have to be fast, but it needs to be deliberate. And of course, when I kind of build it up, that it's gonna that she's gonna be very dramatic and hiss and strike and bite and do all that, she does none of it. So that's very often how it goes. But as you can see, we go from that defensive posture to nothing. What do you got?
This is a wandering garter, but it's definitely a mutation. This thing, I want to call it a hypo, like reduced black. Plus there's a bunch of oranges and yellows in this if you look closely, especially in the light, especially like this angle here. Yeah, I heard these were called golden hypos. So,
and for people unfamiliar with the wandering garters here in Utah, they are plain.
They're all over the place.
And they tend to be brown. They can range into black. But the traditional checkered pattern, 3 stripes, like this speckled appearance is night and day. Night and day. They all look very similar to one another. So this one really is amazing. This is like something you'd see in the Midwest, like these speckled garters.
Like it was similar to that plains garter.
Yeah. All right, so we're kind of on a quest, possibly a new quest, because we have our Gopher Gulch Great Basin gopher snakes. We're in an undisclosed location in northern Utah. If this is happening here at this location, then maybe we're onto something.
Yeah, we're not done here. We got work to do. So we're gonna find more of these. Whether they're morphs or not, like we'll hope to have some answers. It might take a year or two, but
fun new quest.